I want to throw in the bin forever company CEOs who have a go at tech, who think they know what tech's all about and sort of have a go at it, which takes me to my next topic, which is that British Airways...
Did you have anything in mind?
Yes, British Airways last week had another IT failure. This is the 7th incident in 2 years, okay, which has led to misery. Following the installation of their FLY, believe it or not, ironically, their FLY system, which is their Altia departure control and customer control system. What they say is it's neat on paper, bespoke departure control and customer relationship manager, but in reality is a nightmare. Now, why did this happen, do you imagine? Why are we at this stage?
Underinvestment, legacy systems,
yes, no.
Changes,
lack of focus.
Yes, no. There's one big reason. According to Cirrus, the outsourced IT solutions, they're talking about the fact they're trying to dig into where all of this has come from. A couple of years ago, Alex Cruz, the CEO of British Airways, axed 700 IT workers with specialist knowledge in British Airways systems and outsourced the whole lot to India. Since then, they're saying this has cost him dearly. And we've been hearing, I mean, we were at meetings this week, not going to name names, but you've got non-qualified people making huge impact decisions on IT development and IT stability and systems. And it's this culture. We had this last year in Washington, where we had people, particularly from the legal profession, saying software is easy. Software is a one-off job. You get a piece of software written, like baking a cake for Christmas, and you leave it, and you get it done, and that's done. What's hard is my job as a CEO, making money for the shareholders. This is a particular problem, which is why I would like to put those CEOs into the bin, because people are finding it hard to join the dots. You find it's difficult to get on a plane, Kieran, or book a flight or whatever, but it's really hard to, as you know, you're both experts in IT, to really chain that back to a very, very poor investment decision by a CEO, wouldn't you say, Kieran?
Yeah, I just despair. I approve of this Room 101 entirely. And if they can be sort of tortured while they're down there, that would be good.
We don't condone violence on this podcast, but just saying metaphorically tortured, like, you know, being asked difficult questions, for example. Yeah. With no violence.
Being forced to do coding lessons.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
But Emily, this thing that software is a one-off shot and doesn't need
that. Yeah, I'm. Yes, software is something that is just a one-off thing. You outsource it, and then it's like, is it finished yet? And it's like, yeah. I mean, I think you've made an analogy with. If we took that approach with cars, we'd all be driving around in the same car we had in the 1960s, and factories wouldn't have changed at all. This is something that is always ongoing, and it's also the executive thing is to really care about cybersecurity until you have to pay for it. And everyone really loves cybersecurity, really cares about cybersecurity until they have to pay. And then you find that they've actually not made the investment, fired the people who had the relevant expertise, or never had them in the first place. And that's part of the reason why we're in the state we're in.
Now, and to give British Airways its due, when this stuff works, it's all really finely balanced, you know, because they've written quite a cool piece of software. And when you look at the trailer for the software from 3 or 4 years ago, it's actually really cool. You know, who do you want to sit with? If you want to sit with them, you can sit with them for the rest of the journey, including transfers onto other flights. If you change your seat, that's mapped through the system, and the seat becomes available to others.
It's clever stuff,
your
isn't
thing
it?
lines up with baggage control. If all the flights go out of sequence, then you know they can update the system and the sequencing of flight departures, which is particularly what it's focused on. This is all great stuff.
I mean, it's all stuff that makes your head explode, isn't it? I always think that when you're in an airport, like there's so many flights going. How do you know that a bag is going to arrive at your destination when there is a flight taking off per minute? It could be on any one of them. Yes, sometimes they go missing, but most of the time they don't.
Yes.
It is absolutely awesome. And if you try to do it on paper with a person thinking through all of the possibilities, that your head would explode.
Yes, we were actually impacted personally by an early British Airways outage, Kieran. We were waiting to take off from Los Angeles on an Airbus, and the captain said we have to submit our flight plan to Central Control British Airways, and they're not able to receive it because someone like the French submitted the wrong flight plan in the wrong format, and they just hadn't tested people submitting wrong flight plans before. And it's all about testing, isn't it?
Yeah. My thought with this is that CEO failed in his job. There's clearly a strong culture in airlines of building something, new technology, and maintaining it. Otherwise, you don't build an engine and say, there you go, that's good to go. They're constantly maintaining that stock, and they should have a culture of constantly maintaining their software. So I would say that's a CEO failure to not pull the culture through into a key part of their organization. So I think he should be sort of roundly hassled by his board for having failed there, I think.
Yes, and I would add to that sort of maintaining, I add the word testing for potential outages, expecting failures, and letting those systems kick in as part of it. Easy to say, hard to do, but you do have to do it. We're out.